All right. Okay, we are live. Thank you all for tuning in. I am Donna Craddock, co-founder of the Doc Bookshop, and I'm here with our dear beloved, what we call our bookstore historian, Pharaoh Oyewole Davis. Um, we appreciate you, brother, taking time out of your schedule to join me to kind of talk about Assata Shakur. Today we're remembering uh, our Queen Mother because this is actually her liberation day. She was liberated on November 2nd, 1979. And so,
Yeah,
um,
remarkable story.
yeah, and so today, and I'm going to give people time to kind of gather in. I'm going to check my device and make sure all of our channels are working. While I'm doing that, please share this because we're going to have a very interesting conversation about a uh, awesome teacher, uh, revolutionary mother. Um, she's a symbol of liberation. Assata Shakur.
Yeah.
That's who we're dealing with and talking about today. Um, so let me make sure we are on all channels and just gonna make sure we're working, Farrell. We get Danya to. If y'all hear music in the background, that's our neighbors over there. Their thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we are working. Let me make sure I can. There we go. All right. So again, thank you all for tuning in. We're remembering Asada Shakur today because today is Liberation Day, her Liberation Day, and we want to talk a little bit about that. And so let's just start off,
Remembering
Brother
that?
Pharaoh. Let's start off remembering. Just let's do uh, libation. Let's kind of open us up here
Yeah.
and invite our ancestors.
As you were saying earlier, whenever we acknowledge one of our heroes or sheroes, if you will, it is always good to acknowledge the ancestors. It's never, we don't do it enough. And we should because I think our story is just amazing. And the annals of history, our people are just have proven their resilience over and over again. So, with that being said, I'd like to start off by I will say a name, and then we say Ashe afterwards, just acknowledging that you know, we remember. First name I like to say is my maternal grandmother, Flora Irby Lemons,
Ashe.
Ashe. And then I like to go to one of my favorite activists, if you will, that I had a chance to have multiple conversations with. That is Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Ashe. Okay. Well, I'm going to go in the line since we're remembering first Asada Shakur, Ashe,
Ashe.
and she pay a homage to Harriet Tubman,
Yes.
Ashe Queen Nani,
Yes. Ashe.
Ashe, and she mentioned so many others. So I'm going to just kind of go in that vein.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yes.
good. We have some wonderful examples of what it means to be committed to change and to be a part of that change and to even be willing to die for that change. And I think Asada Shakur is a great example of that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's kind of our opening, and thank you for that. And so we're just going to get right into it as far as um, who is Assata Shakur. For those who don't know, who is Assata Shakur?
Okay. So first off, Asada Shakur I like to say, is an activist. Even though she's no longer here, her spirit is still here because we're speaking about it today. But She was born Joanne Deborah uh, Byron in Jamaica, Queens, on July 16th, 1947. She was born in Queens, New York, and then she would often visit her aunt and grandmother in Wilmington, North Carolina. The significance of that is that Wilmington, North Carolina was a very progressive and thriving black community. After slavery, a 30-year span, Wilmington was one of our most prominent black communities. Unfortunately, right before the turn of the century, in 1898, it was attacked and destroyed. But there's some great history in Wilmington, North Carolina, even after they attacked it. So she comes from a legacy of grandparents from Wilmington, North Carolina, who raised her up to say, you never believe that anyone is better than you. You're just as good as anyone else. And her grandparents from Wilmington, North Carolina, forbid her to um, look down when she meets white people, and they forbid her to call any white person ma'am or sir. And I just thought that was profound because this basically had to do with the makings of who she became.
Right.
Right. Awesome.
They instill much dignity
And pride.
and pride.
Yes, yes, yes. So she was raised in you know, primarily in Queens, New York. She went to BMCC, Borough of Manhattan Community College, um, and that's where she first got the experience of resistance and protest because people were protesting against the war. Um, so she's known. She was born Joanne Deborah Byron, but when she was 20 years old, while attending college, she met a man who was somewhat of an activist named Louis Chesimard. So she's also known as Joanne Chesimard because for 3 years she was married to this man and she took his last name. So when she first got into the movement, she was known as Joanne Chesimard. And my dad, as a last poet, he remembers her coming to the East Wind, their spot, as Joanne Chesimard. She hadn't even changed her name yet to Assata. But she was down. And then she joined the Black Panther Party as Joanne Chesimard. You know what I'm saying? So that's history. We know if you can look her up as Joanne Chesimard, ended up becoming Assata. Um, awesome story with Asada because she was just enamored with the commitment of people during that time against the war, and also the Black Panther Party, who was of course committed to the salvation of Black people here in this country. Um, she did ultimately have some issues with the Black Panther Party because they were just coming from, once again, the Black Panther Party, awesome in its existence, but they were from the West Coast. She coming from the East Coast, she wanted to just um, evolve it, if you will. So to add more Afrocentric ideologies to it, and just
That's what a black liberation.
yeah, and that's what birthed the Black Liberation Army.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
But the Black Panther Party, I mean, a lot of the social programs today are because of the Black Panther Party. Even
yes,
SNAP that we're dealing with,
yep, yep,
you
yep.
know, was inspired by the Black Panther Party because the Black Panthers actually, uh, in their community, they were going to the grocery stores buying groceries.
Yeah.
And they had their breakfast program. And so they're doing a lot of
Wonderful work.
wonderful work in the community.
But you know how it is when you get a sister who was on point. That their job is to push the brothers to let's evolve this thing, and sometimes it's met with pushback. So she ultimately parted ways from the Black Panther Party and helped to I believe she helped to found the Black Liberation Army and became an integral part of that. She ultimately changed her name to Asada Olukbada Shakur. And Asada Olukbada Shakur. Asada meaning she who struggles, Olukbala meaning love for the people, and Shakur meaning um, thankful. Um, so I need to say this because we've heard a lot of people say, what is the connection between Asada and Tupac? I'll give you this once and for all, break it down so it don't have to be broke before again. So Asada's brother, we don't know if it was her biological brother, but they were um,
brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Matula Shakur.
And that's Matula Shakur. Matula Shakur, a lot of brothers and members of the Black Panther Party had special gifts or talents that they lent to the Black Panther Party. Amatula's special gift was acupuncture. He actually did acupuncture as well as other things, but he was a brilliant man. Matula Shakur, considered Assata, they were brother and sister. Matula ultimately met Tupac's mom, Afeni, who had this little baby boy who was already born, but he adopted him as his own and named him Tupac Shakur. So in essence, Assata was Tupac's spiritual aunt, if you will, because it was his stepdad's sister. And also Afeni,
Her stepmom.
Afeni named Assata also the godmother of Tupac. So she was the aunt slash godmother of Tupac Shakur. The reason they have the same name is because of Matula. Matula changed his name, and Assata followed suit. And when he married Afeni, she took the name as Afeni Shakur, and then Tupac's name was changed to Tupac Shakur. Awesome.
Okay.
So
That's the connection.
that's the connection.
And I'm going to read here from her book. This is a must-have for every household. Asada, an autobiography. And so I'm just going to read here because she talks about uh, uh, it's kind of like an introduction as to who she is.
Okay.
And she made a tape to my people on July 4th, 1973. And she said, my black brothers, black sisters, I want you to know that I love you. And I hope that somewhere in your hearts you have love for me. My name is Assata Shakur, slave name Joanne Chesapeake. And I am a revolutionary, a black revolutionary. By that, I mean I have declared war on all forces that have raped our women, castrated our men, and kept our babies empty bellied. I have declared war on the rich who prosper on our poverty, the politicians who lie to us with smiling faces, and all the mindless, heartless robots who protect them and their property. I am a black revolutionary, and as such, I'm a victim of the wrath, hatred, and slander that America is capable of. Like all other black revolutionaries, America is trying to lynch me.
Yeah.
And she goes on,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna stop there. But that's who um, Assata is. I mean,
Yeah.
she kind of she's a revolutionary, and
Yes.
and America tried to lynch her, but and I think that's why they have such a high bounty on her.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she's the one who got away, and
Assata.
and
Assata, they got her, but she got away.
mm-hmm.
And they never got Assata another day. I like to say that. But listen, I want to give you the backdrop before this the incident that happened that put her in prison. From 1971 to early 1973, there were a lot of trumped up charges, not only against Assata but against the whole Black Liberation Party, Black Liberation Army. She was charged with, and she was listed on it. She was there was an issue warrant for her arrest by the FBI for these trumped up charges of two bank robberies, ambushing an officer, kidnapping a drug dealer. I don't think she denied that one though. But there's some other things that they have a long list of these crimes. However, she was acquitted, and some of the charges dropped. Either they were acquitted, or she was acquitted, or they were dropped. Early 1973, May 2nd, 1973, she is in her car. Now, mind you, FBI already is tagging them. They're already on it. May 2nd, 1973, her and three other people were in the car driving down the New Jersey Turnpike in New Jersey, and they were stopped by the state troopers. And unfortunately, they stopped them for supposedly having a tail light out. And you'd already know they were already on their tail. Things happened. Ultimately, there was a shooting.
She was shot twice.
She was shot twice. One of the brother that was with them was killed. and one of the police officers was killed, and Assata was shot twice, and she escaped. She was later found, I think, a day later, like within 36 hours later, they found her. Or she no, she actually turned herself in. She turned herself in. The other brother was found. That there was another brother with him, and he was found. But she turned herself in because she was injured. And of course, they pinned the murder of the police officer on her. Later on, forensics proved that she was shot with her hands up, and when the way she was shot, she was temporarily paralyzed. She could not have picked up a gun and shot anyone after that. So even with that being said, and this being mentioned in the court on trial, she was found guilty of all 8 counts and sentenced to life plus 30 years simply because of her political involvement. So this is how Assata Shakur was sentenced to prison. Once again, the incident happened on May 2nd, 1973. I think she got sentenced that following year. And so there's a 5 to 6 year period that she's in prison being tortured. And there's a period, only time in history recorded though, where a female was actually inside of a male penitentiary for 20 months. Assata Shakur was in a male prison, solitary confinement under 24-hour surveillance. Crazy. She was tortured, she was beaten, she was starved. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she even had a child when she first got there. She entered pregnant, and then she gave birth to her daughter while while handcuffed to the bed. Crazy. Again. So this went on for about 5 years, and on a masterful plan by the Black Liberation Army on November 2nd, 1979, with a visitation to Asada. They planned an escape. They held two of the um, correction officers hostage, and they released them once they got to the parking lot, switched cars, and she escaped. Assata Shakur was on the low for 5 years. Nobody knew where she was. And then she resurfaced after 5 years of hiding. She resurfaced in Cuba. And Fidel Castro, who was the leader of Cuba, um, he considered anybody that made it their way to Cuba, they would receive asylum, primarily from America, because they already knew.
They already knew.
If you did a crime in America, it was probably America. He
knew the oppressive America.
He knew what was up. So she lived the rest of her life in Cuba. Once again, she was broken out of literally. She was liberated from the Black Liberation Army from prison on November 2nd, 1979, which was a remarkable year. The year first hip hop album came out. Just a lot went on in 1979. Leah was born that year. It was a hot year. A lot of stuff happened in 1979. But Assata Shakur broke out of prison that day.
Wow. And she was also the first woman to be labeled a terrorist.
Right.
On America's
crazy
most wanted list.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, because I was listening to different videos and talks. I remember when someone mentioned that she represented the soul of liberation.
Yeah.
And that's why they were so adamant about trying to capture her. Yeah. They wanted to capture the soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah, I'll give you some of the words that she said.
And she, mm-hmm. But here's the thing, and this is what I love about it, because they wanted to make an example out of her, but instead, and this is how they use that thing about, you gotta
reset.
Huh?
It says reset.
Reset. Okay. Well, I'm going to reset the room for those who just joining us, coming in. Again, my name is Donna Craddock, one of the co-founders of Dot Bookshop, and I'm in conversation with our store historian, the one and only Pharaoh Olawale Davis, the son of the beautiful Abiodun. And she mentions the last poet in her book. I want to read that segment to you in honor of Abiodun. But we're talking about, and we're remembering Assata Shakur because it's a very special day. November 2nd is a very special day for Assata Shakur. It was the day that she was liberated out of the belly of the beast.
That's right.
As they say. And and they was trying to make an example out of her and put all this big bounty on her head. But in the end, but what happened is that they um, you have I'm trying to read. I'm sorry, my sister giving me signs. I'm trying to read the signs. So why don't you just talk to me?
Thank you for resetting the room. If they have any questions online, put it in the comment section and I will let you know when they have questions.
Okay, okay. Thank you for that. So if you have any comments or questions, please go ahead and type it in, and Diane's going to monitor that for us. Thank you, Diane, for doing that. But anyway, so back to Assata Shakur, because I am, she's one of my sheroes. I mean, and not just, and here's the thing, she surpasses just not just black people, but global. She's a global icon
She is.
of
She is.
liberation. And
Yeah.
so, they try to make an example out of her, but as they say, with God, they meant for evil, God turned around for good.
Yep.
And now she's going to live on forever because she represents revolution. She represents freedom.
That's right.
And she represents liberation and fight. So,
In her words, she said the Black Liberation Army emerged from conditions of black communities across this country, conditions of poverty, indecent housing, massive unemployment, poor medical care, inferior education. And the concept of the Black Liberation Army arose because of the political, social, and economic oppression of black people. And wherever there is oppression, there will always and should be resistance. So that is the birth of the Black Liberation Army.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about as we because we kind of talked about um her time before 1979, November 2nd.
Right.
Now let's kind of delve into the. Oh, first I want to read that chapter though that she talked about. For this is for you, Abiodun.
Donna, while you finding that, girl, can you answer this question?
Yes.
What happened to the daughter after she went to Cuba?
The daughter was released to her grandmother. So she was raised by the grandmother. And then she later um, joined her mother in Cuba. I believe she lives in Cuba today. I don't know. But she was given to Asada's mother to be raised. You know, and she's alive today. Um, I don't.
She's the one posted
Yeah.
when her mother transitioned.
Yeah. Yeah. So awesome stuff.
Okay, and I want to read this segment. Asada wrote this in her book on page 173 for those who got the book. She's talking about her time at Manhattan Community College. Okay, because that was very transforming for her.
Yeah.
Because Manhattan Community College had a very high percentage of black and third world students.
Yes.
More than 50%. The level of activity was high, both on campus and off. The Golden Drums, the black organization on campus, whose president was a principal, disciplined brother named Henry Jackson, was pushing for more black study courses. Black teachers, programs were more responsive to the needs of black students, and there was a cultural awareness going on. They gave all kinds of programs on African dancing, drawing, and more. By word of mouth or by the bulletin board, we were turned on to concerts, plays, poetry readings. The Last Poets, a group of young black poets, knocked me out. I had always thought of poetry in a European sense, but the Last Poets spoke in African rhythms, chanted to the beat of African drums, and talked about revolution. When we leave their place on 125th Street, I think it was called the Blue Gorilla.
Yeah, it was the East Wind in the later.
We'd be so excited and fired up, we didn't even notice the long subway ride home.
Awesome.
So,
awesome.
yeah. So, yeah, she's the last pose in the book. There you go.
Yeah. I remember while I was here, I visited. I know it was after 2000. I moved to Texas in 2000. And I went home to visit New York, and my dad was being honored at a theater. And while he was there, Asada called in on the line.
Oh, wow.
That was so touching because it was like I knew about Asada, and I knew my dad kind of knew everybody, but to hear her call and give him, just props on how they influenced her was awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you just never know how those dots connect. But her and her brother visited the Last Poets spot, which was called the East Wind, later the Blue Gorilla. Um, and they, just would not only just do poetry, but they would have workshops and talk about things and strategies and things that we needed to hear and talk about, which is crazy because we need that today. So that's really,
Yeah.
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 Was this while she was in Cuba that she sent that, or?
Yeah, she sent that while she was in Cuba. It was a wire, she called in from Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't see her,
Okay.
only could hear her, but it was so just awesome to hear her talking to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we could go on and on. So now, what are your what commentary you have for um her time in Cuba?
Well, in 1984 is when she was granted political asylum in Cuba. And that was huge because she could live freely. She could be free in the confines of the country, but she didn't have to worry about being snatched up or anything because the country had her back. And just the influence she had while she was alive there in Cuba
She was
was,
still doing work.
yeah, she was doing
She was
work.
still doing work. Yeah.
And Tupac visited her. I mean, there's a lot of things that have happened since she's been, living in Cuba. And just her existence, alive, breathing, and healthy, was a
Significant for the
yeah,
people.
and a testament to how you got to stand your ground, man, and whatever it takes, because she was a symbol of liberation, like you said.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to think what else we want to say about
Well,
Queen Mother Assata Shakur.
I have a poem that my dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd love to read this poem. This was written by my dad when he found out about her passing.
And his dad is again Obiodun Oyewale of the Last Poets.
Yeah, so it's cool stuff. Yeah, this is called. Oh no, I was about to read. I was about to read affirmation, but that's her poem. And I would encourage everyone to look up the poem "Affirmation" by Assata Shakur. It's actually in her book. I think it's in the forward or whatever.
Maybe I'll.
But you
Is
can
it a
find
long
it.
one?
You can find it online. Just type in Assata's poem "Affirmation," and you'll find it. You can find it easily.
Let me see if I can.
And there is a line that he borrows, paying homage to her from her poem. So
Kakuya was her daughter.
see affirmation. I mean, I got that.
Go ahead and read your poem, and I'll try to find it.
I got it too here.
Hmm.
I have it here also on my phone.
Okay, why don't you read
Her poem first.
her poem first, and then we'll
Bet.
read
Let's do that.
Abdul's poem.
Let's do that.
Well, y'all looking it up. Can I ask a question?
Oh yeah.
Certainly.
Did Tupac ever write any kind of song and tribute to her, his godmother? Or-
Uh, I don't know, cause when he did his poem to his mom, he just Tupac had poetry too. That he had a bunch of poetry that we'll never really get to hear. So I would imagine he wrote something to her, but he's never recorded anything that we've heard to her.
Like since she was so conscious, it seemed like he would refer to some of her,
Yeah.
well,
Well,
some conscious rapping.
well. So the question was, has Tupac ever did anything, paid homage to Asada with his music? So the thing is, Afeni and Asada were tight.
Mm-hmm.
Because Afeni was married to her brother, and they became tight. Because
Right.
Atula Shakur, who was um, Tupac's stepdad, he was sent off to prison. So Afeni, Tupac's mom, has visited Asada in Cuba. You know, so when Tupac is giving props to his mom, he looks at her like the mirror image of Asada because they come cut from the same cloth. Two strong women from the same movement during the same time. Even though Asada was more, of a leader in it per se, they both were down for the cause. So when you hear "Dear Mama," when you hear "Keep Your Head Up," anytime he's giving praises to the black woman or to his mom, I'm sure Asada is in the back of his mind too, because he has some wonderful examples. All of those sisters in the Black Panther Party, all of those sisters in the Black Liberation Army, those were his images of black women, you know? So,
Were they allowed to go visit her also? Black Liberation?
to go to Cuba, you
Yeah.
had to go to Cuba on your own on the low because you know you were going to be watched. So some people did.
Oh,
Wait, now he did mention something.
About Asada.
Tears of a Clown. I don't know if that's a poem or a song, but it says here, um, Mr. though, please thank Mr. Castro for keeping her safe, bro. How many of us die before we can see the light? It's time, brothers, work it out. Night for a bigger fight.
oh.
So maybe,
Yeah, that was a nice little tribute. I don't know if that was a rap or a poem.
yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta, I don't know if that's a rap or a poem. So, but yeah, I'm sure he did.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure she
Yeah.
was an influence on his life, you know. Affirmation. This is the poem by Assata Shakur. It's in her book. And she wrote this, I believe, after she was in Cuba. Affirmation. I believe in living. I believe in the spectrum of beta days and gamma people. I believe in sunshine and windmills and waterfalls, tricycles and rocking chairs. And I believe the seeds grow into sprouts and sprouts grow into trees. I believe in the magic of the hands and in the wisdom of the eyes. I believe in rain and tears and in the blood of infinity. I believe in life, and I have seen the death parade march through the torso of the earth, sculpting mud bodies in its path. I've seen the destruction of the daylight, and I've seen bloodthirsty maggots prayed to and saluted. I've seen the kind become the blind, and the blind become the bind in one easy lesson. I have walked on cut glass. I have eaten crow and blundered bread and breathed the stench of indifference. I have been locked by the lawless, handcuffed by the haters, gagged by the greedy. And if I know anything at all, it's that a wall is just a wall and nothing more at all. It can be broken down. I believe in living. I believe in birth. I believe in the in the sweat of love, and in the fire of truth. And I believe that a lost ship steered by tired, seasick sailors can still be guided home to port. Affirmation. Yes. And that's a classic poem by Asada. So now I'm going to read Asada, a poem by Abiodun Oyewole. Asada, a rose growing through the concrete of Harlem. During a drought, in a storm, she was uprooted, replanted in the rich soil of Cuba, where the Orishas nurtured her and made her streams stronger, made her stems stronger, filled with air, with her fragrance, a sweetness we could smell, making the beast choke from his own disgust. How she got away, a scent of freedom filled our nostrils. When we think about Asada, escaped from the belly of the beast, the thorns of her rose were daggers in his heart. His desire to devour her made him bleed to death 1,000 times. Too many flowers have withered and washed away. Asada still blossomed, believing in living, in tricycles and rocking chairs, and in the innocence of a child, the wisdom of our ancestors. Her petals glistened in the Caribbean sunlight. Her body and soul danced to the rhythm of the congas, giving praise to our ancestors, keeping us safe through this journey. She has joined them along with her godson Tupac and her brother Matula. She has stretched her wings, became an angel to guide those of us who believe in liberation, who want a better life. She will continue to stand guard over the people's garden so it will not be trampled upon, and all the flowers will live their days in spring.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you for that. And that's the perfect way to close it out with the poem by the last poet who she admired,
Mm-hmm.
um, Abiodun Oyewole. We appreciate that. All right, so we're going to close our segment. Again, this day we had to do something for Sada on this day because this is a very special day for her. And so I'm glad we had this time. We will continue to call out her name, continue to embody her spirit of revolution and resilience and fight. And again, we just thank the creator just for allowing her to be and to be a blessing and an encouragement for us.
Yes.
So forever forward, the fight continue.
Yes.
And
I want to give a there was another ancestor I wanted to mention who passed within a week away of Assata Shakur, and his name is D'Angelo, right? And D'Angelo has a song called Africa, and I just encourage everybody to just go check it out on YouTube. It's a beautiful song paying homage to the motherland. But yeah, so
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and also Common did a song for Asada too.
yes, he did.
It's called A Song for Asada. So um, definitely look that up and play that, you know,
Yeah.
that song. All right. You got any words for my in studio audience?
No, happy to be here and
Good stuff.
got a lot of good knowledge from
Thank
both of
you.
y'all.
Okay, well,
That's
thank you,
awesome.
brother. We appreciate your presence. And we are going to close it out. Danya, are we ready to close it out? Huh?
Yeah.
What she say?
Hold on.
Not quite.
Okay. Well then, I want to say that we're supposed to also do a mural reveal today. We're supposed to remember Asada and do our mural reveal, but we're going to do that in the coming weeks.
Are there any other, I guess you call them political prisoners still that was maybe arrested at about the time that Asada was arrested and maybe still in prison?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Bunch of
Maria is still in prison.
Mamiya Abu Jamal. He's a
Yeah,
part of that.
he's still,
He was a part of that Black
yeah,
Liberation Army. And Matula Shakur, the only reason he was released was because he was
sick.
fatally ill. And they knew he
Yeah.
only had a few, less than a year to live. And I think he lived about a few months when they released him. Then he passed on. So he was able to pass with his family.
And one just got out. Well, he's not really a part of the Black Liberation Movement, but it was so many groups. But
Yeah.
he's part of Move.
Many. Served time. Right. Move.
The Move. Yeah.
I asked the brother about H. Rap Brown.
Mhm.
What's his status right now? Do y'all know?
No. Is he still alive?
Can you ask people to subscribe?
Okay. We gotta look up. I don't know the status of H-Rap Brown.
Yeah, he changed his name and he's
Yeah.
living as a Muslim. He's a Muslim name now.
No, okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the names I heard back in that
Mhm.
time period.
Yeah, he tried to
Yeah.
us.
Okay, so definitely subscribe to our channel. And again, thank you all for tuning in as we had a great conversation about um, our great ancestor, Assata Shakur. Today is a very special day for Assata, because this was her liberation day. So we wanted to come on and talk about her and just to remember her. And so we will, and if you have not gotten the book, Asada, please come to the bookstore or go to our online. You can get it online at the dotbookshop.com. It's a must-have for all households, really. I mean, it really is a must-read, especially if you're going to be in politics, community organizing. Um, it's a must-read. Um, also, uh, Diane, was there any questions in the chat?
So A-Trap Brown is Jamil Alamin, and he is 84 years old, currently serving a life sentence.
He's still in jail.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Yeah.
was out.
Huh?
I thought he was out.
A-Trap Brown
Uh
says he's currently still serving.
huh. Oh,
Message just got out.
okay. I guess Diane wants us to do some announcements. Um, were there any questions though? Because after this, I'm okay. So yeah, I guess she wants us to do announcements. We have got some great events coming up. We got, well, actually this Wednesday, we're going to be doing the road to the cup. FIFA 2026 is coming. And so we're starting to get ready for that. And so we have a series called Road to the Cup. And our first author up is Nathan Nipper. He was a part of our not Literary Soul Fest, Trinity River Book Festival that we do every year on 7th Street, in downtown Fort Worth. And so he's going to be here on Wednesday to talk about his book. Um, and his book kind of deal with soccer and appreciation of soccer. And so he's going to be here to kind of kick it off for us as we deal with FIFA 2026. So I'm really excited about that series. We got some great speakers coming. It's a great lineup. Go to our website at thedotbookshop.com and get more information. But we got about at least 10, 12 authors that we're going to be interviewing as we get ready for FIFA 2026. And then also on November 13th, we have Shar Adams. She wrote this wonderful book called Black Owned. And since we're dealing with revolution, she deals with the revolutionary life of the Black bookstore. And so that's going to be a great conversation. Thursday, November 13th at 7 p.m. at the Doc Bookshop. Shar Adams will be here. Please come and join us for that conversation. And then we're going to also have a special guest. Dr. Tony Evans will be here. He's going to be in conversation with our beloved First Lady Shirley Pace. And they're going to be discussing his new book, Unleash. And that's going to be on Saturday, November 15th from 1 to 3. So I'm really excited about these upcoming authors. And anyway, so mark your calendars. Go visit our website. Some great stuff is about to take place. Um, or it just is happening here at the Doc Bookshop. And we don't want you to miss it. So definitely join us. All right. So I think we exhausted our time here. And I think Diane's busy, so I may have to just
shut it down.
I may have to shut it down. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Definitely go to our website and share this video with others because we share some exciting things about Assata Shakur.
Yeah.
She's such an icon that you really need to know more about her story.
Symbol of resilience.
And it's just she represents so much. And so again, I'm glad we took time to remember her on today. And I am going to shut it down. I gotta get up and
Okay,
and
I'll
press.
shut it down.
All right, thank you.